Okay, gang, I am sitting here with the Dolmar 7900 that you have seen in a few of my videos. I ported like 2 years ago for my buddy Randy, and it had lackluster performance. And I told him over a year ago I'd go back into it, and he was like, yeah. I told him, I said, I don't know when I'm going to get to it. He's like, don't worry about it. I never use it anyways. And so, anyways, we're finally here and finally going back into it. I've already gotten the numbers. Even though I've gotten them written down, I wanted to go at this fresh and see what's going on. My intake is at 83, and I know that probably there's a handful of people out there that's going to say your intake should be at 78. Maybe you're right. The exhaust is at 98.6. I know there's a handful of people out there that's probably going to say you should be at 96 on the exhaust or 95 on the exhaust. Dolmar's like a high exhaust. Maybe you're right. And then the transfers are opening at 125. I personally don't see that there's anything wrong with those numbers. That seems good. I think the failure is going to be on the bottom transfers and the piston, that opening there. I don't know if I opened that up or not. I don't know. So we're going to go back into this and see. I did notice that the filter was not fully attached. So what I am expecting to see whenever I go in here, hopefully not, but I am expecting to see that the intake side is roughed up from debris. But I know that he hasn't ran it very much. So maybe we'll get lucky with that. The clip, I think it's the clip is just a little bit loose. Need to buy a new clip for it. Oh, that just came right off. That's because I am still running the gasket. Oh. Where's the fourth? Oh, the fourth bolt came out right there. Okay, so I did open up. Oh, and the Squish was 25 thousandths. So, see nothing wrong with that. I did not machine the base. I did not cut the Squish. I definitely couldn't have cut the Squish back then. But the transfers have been opened up on the bottom like that. My port work looks good. The intake looks fine. Perfectly fine, actually. Just swell. The exhaust looks great. I don't know. I checked the plug too. It was running a little bit rich, but nothing bad. You know, I mean, it was still brown. It wasn't black. So far, everything's looking good. And the piston is a wedged piston. I don't know what you would call that. So we didn't need to open up the piston. So one has to ask, what the hell? What in the actual hell? Why is this thing running so poorly? I mean, it's not running poorly, it's never really good. Not what I expected it to be. Well, shucks. I don't even know if from the looks of it, no, I didn't do this to the transfers. No, that's factory. That lowering there. I would be able to see my cut marks if I had done it. All I did was provide smooth flow in there. Looks like I cut this back edge back a little bit. You know, you can see the shiny. And then right here, you can tell I didn't cut that. So where are the problems with this saw? Itty bitty little combustion chamber. Let's check this end gap on this ring. Pulling it over is a total bear. I mean, woo, total. So, I mean, it's got great compression. And I don't know what the ring gap is supposed to be on this saw. So I do know that on the 6100 and the 5600, the ring gap was like 16 thousandths of an inch. It was big. So we will start with that knowledge, and there's 16 thousandths right there. Let's see. It goes in, but it's snug. So I would say, yeah, 15 or 16 thousandths. Here's 17 thousandths. $17 thousandths goes in. Yeah, barely, but it does. That seems like a lot. I mean, it really shouldn't have a bad ring, because I know that this is a very low hour saw, and there's zero indication of any kind of wear on that cylinder. I mean, it's in really great shape. Got a nice open muffler. So I'm going to need y'all's help on this one, because I don't know where to go from here. All of those numbers seem perfectly acceptable to me. Perfectly acceptable. Granted, it might run better with some different numbers, but the only thing that I can think to do is to raise the floor of this with some JB weld from 83, it's at 83 right now, to 78. That should give it a little bit more punch, as well as give it some more crankcase pressure. And then maybe do the exhaust to 96 or 95. Transfers seemed spot on. 125 on the transfers. So yeah, I am going to put this away as is. And please, anybody out there that really knows these 7900s, give me ideas of what to do. We got 17 thousandths end gap on the ring, 83 on the intake, 98.6 on the exhaust, 125 on the transfers, and we have 125 on the squish. Now this does have that ring of death. It's not a ring of death. It's the reverse of the ring of death. So I could flatten that squish, you know, take some out of the squish and then run it without the base gasket to get a 20,000 squish. But as it is, it's a 25. Yeah. Please help me on this one because I want to make this thing run really good for Randy. The coil. You guys will probably want to know what coil it is. It has the black coil, which I believe is the lower limit. The red coil for these that you can get, I think it's red, has a higher limit. But all that means to me is that you can tune it out of the wood, listening for that 4-stroke and then leaning it out, you know. And even still with the red coil, you can't do that. In order to get it to tune in that manner, you have to go with a 272 coil, which is a lot of work, and I don't know if I want to do that. But yeah, I mean, it's not like it's hitting the rev limiter in the wood. So my Johnson Red, it's still got the very limited coil on it. And my Johnson Red 2165, that's like blazing fast. I've got the limited coil on it. So I see no reason to go into this and do all the work just to have an unlimited coil. Because the only thing the unlimited coil does for you is allow you to piss rev it and tune it in that manner. Tune it in the wood. You know, I mean, yeah, I don't know what's going on with this saw. That's it. Bunch of questions. Hopefully somebody out there can give me some good advice on where to go. I definitely will be getting a hold of you, Jeff, because I know that you know these things in and out really well. Richard, I know that you know these things in and out really well. Ethan, I know that you know these things in and out really well. You know, there's a lot of people out there that I can get advice from on this. Maybe Levanaway is watching my video. Woo! Wouldn't that be nice? I got some tips from Levanaway. Anyways, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. Because whenever I did the testing, I think it was like 10% better than stock. And I know you can get these things running a lot better than that. I mean, should I cut the squish? I mean, the damn thing's hard enough to start as it is, you know? Maybe cut the squish, lower it down and everything, and then give it a high roof so that it's still easy to start. But by cutting the squish, you make that combustion chamber even smaller. But I just can't see how that... I mean, it's got a little combustion chamber already. Anyways, okay, yeah. Ramble, nothing but ramble and questions. I don't know what to do. Somebody please help me out.